This meeting is being recorded.
There it is. Welcome back to the 49th IWAR Gold Strategy Workshop. There it is. Let me throw my headphones on.
All right.
Damn it. All right, so Mike Hook is here, as always. Boink. Is that better?
Yep. Can you hear me?
There it is. All right, there we go. Okay.
Good.
We're fine now. So, all right. So this is the October cycle coming into October. And so we've seen some odd things. Once again, my poor man's plan of playing gold in iron or steel proven right. Well, if you want to be terrible, do what Riley says. There you go. So all right, this cycle should be interesting one. No 28s.
Nope. Just as predicted.
Call the shot, as it were. And you were sitting currently pretty. So
Thanks to those 28s. Yeah. Which it's funny. So, one of the things we always mark off was the 2 cycles ago combination.
Yeah.
That was 28-28, this cycle for gold.
I
So
noticed
we could have
that.
used.
Yeah. Yep. So it's all right.
Yeah,
So,
like I
so
said,
looking at our
this
options
cycle's
here.
not helped us at all so far.
No, we had
It's okay.
the iron bastards. I'm also proud to say that I'm wearing my Luigi Primo.
Ah, nice. I got a Britt Baker shirt.
Nice. I got this shirt. And my friends is like, he's an anti-vaxxer. I'm like, God damn it. Whatever. I enjoy the gimmick. Let me enjoy something, all right? Let me just enjoy the moment. I enjoy Britt Baker a lot. I'm a big fan. The match she had, was it against Thunder Rosa where she bled everywhere?
Yep.
Yeah, it was just like, oh shit. And whatever she's doing to keep Adam Cole at home, Britt, come on. Let the man out. So yeah. I wonder if Adam Cole played IWA. He seems like a type
Feels
who
like
would.
he could. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. Because I will say there's a lot of wrestlers like Ezekiel, Brian Cage, Dolph Ziggler that they look like they came out of a wrestling game. Like someone designed them and they're like, on screen. So all the guys playing in IWA, there are some wrestlers out there who played IWA. I think Bryan Danielson I think he's the most famous one. But you never know, The Rock played.
He's more famous than Shane Helms, I'd say.
Yeah.
So
So we're excited about this cycle. Last cycle, we don't really do this as much, but like kind of a post-mortem on last cycle. I think what killed most of my strats, I went too heavy on 61. And there's a lesson, it just killed me.
We were right about most things though. We had, I have to look back, I think it was 6 or 8 fronts that had a 25 from 2 cycles ago.
Yeah.
And we knew there was a pretty good shot. So immediately we had it down to that. We knew the 42 was going to occur. So at most we had 4 backs. So
yeah, that 42.
We had the 501 within our, if it was 8, like 32 or something, whatever we ended up with. We had the 501 in there. It's just, unfortunately, when you have to guess, multiple things right, you just missed one.
Yeah,
and it's an expensive one when you go from 45 to 41, that's 497 high. You can't.
But do we see? Will we see 42 again?
I would use it. Yes. At this point, I mean, I've been doing well the last cycle because I'm just going to keep using it until it misses. Clearly it's just one of those things that just randomly happens, but there's no precedent for it. Nothing close. So just keep taking it.
Well, I told you my theory is that the other way is like someone pushed a button and the tab stuck. So it just goes off every time. Like, I don't know what happened. You fixed it. Oh shit.
I feel like sometimes there's almost like, I show you, hey, 41 happens 65% of the time.
Mhm.
But over a longer period, they're like, well, let's get that to 50-50. And it's like, well, how do we do that? We need 19 in a row. And they just do it. So it's almost like there's a balancing within their system that if you flip a coin so many times, you should end up with the same result at the end on both of them. So I think it's something like that where the system maybe corrects things that get too skewed.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm thinking it's too advanced, but I don't know. But yeah, what are we? 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 16 in a row have been a 42. So if you want to bet against that, go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
But it goes to my point about or the point we've made before about the other way. Almost, it's like it bets you or dares you to go against the logic of like, well, this is keeps happening.
yeah.
90 always is good, 25 is always good, and they always have been. But the minute they go like 90 goes to 42, people are gonna like riot in the streets. There'll be Willowick stores burning down. How dare you? I still say I know Johnny B is not a fan of the chair shot or dastardly moves, but let me show this for I'm forgetting. Oh, that's the flashy Jack Ferdinand trophy. It'll be in the mail next week. So, but I was gonna say, like, I always wonder if like all the good ones are gone. Eye gouge. Just make eye gouge 30. Let's just do it. like manager interference is gone. I missed that, and I know there were kids in the game that came through that told me like, well, I picked eye gouge and like all the cheating holds. I thought that would be work for a film. Like, I get where you're going, but no. So the other way, yeah, it's daring us right in the face, saying, "Go ahead, pick against it." And I always say, you're better off, riding along than being like, "Oh, I was the one guy that figured it out." Ha.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you get? Well, I got a 492 because the back end sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. For each time you try to go against it, you're probably going to be right a quarter of the time. That's just not worth it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go with the 42. It's not going to hurt you. As far as which one, that's a toss up. I can't really narrow it down to 42, 1 or 2. It's kind of varied in between each Fed. I don't have this cycle up, but you'll notice it's been a lot of ones last cycle. Let's look at this real quick and see what they were.
Yeah.
We kind of need that information. Let's see. So that was 42-1. And a 42-1. Okay. So maybe that's telling us something.
Well, when all else fails, I used to call it Victor von Schnapping. I would always give Victor von Schnapp the 42s, 41s. I always gave him those, and I used to work for him, and I was lucky guessing with it. This is a matter of just sheer force of will. Johnny B won't do it this cycle, or else. He's just at home.
So the 6, 7. Okay, so the last 11 in this string have all been the strong 42.
Strong 42.
So if you want to go by that, I guess stay with that one.
Here's the thing, though. So if that's the case, we have what's our 44 was 90, right? Or sorry,
it was a 45.
45, yeah. So we have 44 and 43 to look at when it comes to our options. It's a matter of how ugly it's going to get.
So 67 is the strong 42. And 66 the weak. If you got more than one wrestler, I'd probably use that as one of the spots to to go with both.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I
we
told
know
you
we
what I've
can
been,
do the. Go ahead.
no, that I've been doing is I've been doing like Adam Cash will have like the 42 one
Yep.
and Tari or vice versa, you know. And just like I said, last cycle I went too heavy on 61, and that just across the board killed me. And I should have known better. Gina
Mhm.
Colada was one of the ones I didn't. It was like the other thing killed me, you know. So it's
On the 43s, this is the spot. Like I said, I missed this one on everybody last cycle, and it's what really hurt me. We don't have anything where it happened 3 in a row.
Are we
So
gonna get 16 cycles of 43-2? Johnny's just
we'll
like,
see. We'll start with 3. But I would use the strong just because outside of this weird one where we get, the 42 jumped to 45, broke it up. But just seems like in the long term, that's not something that they like to do. So I'll play against it. As far as a 44, though, we're probably getting at that point where 44-2 is due to hit.
Yeah.
Probably, I would say that's a tough one. Let's see, what was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. We're at 7, and we did 5 here. So, yeah, any cycle is going to be the other one.
Yeah.
That may be a spot depending on how many you have. Maybe use both of those.
So for those playing at home, one will get 44-2, one will get 43-1, one will get 42-1. So you see,
There's 4 options
around.
in this.
Yeah.
So that's not bad though if you can get it down to 4. Because
right
when we started today, we had 288 options, and that was just after the 2 cycle ago drop, the still, and last cycle with iron.
Right. So
288. If we narrow it down to those 4 backs, then we have 72 options already. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
So, and typically, if I have more than 2 or 3 wrestlers, I do only use 1 or 2 fronts versus 4 backs. It's much easier to do it that way to me, and actually have better results overall. So. All right.
all right.
Just make sure I've got it. Yep. So I already mentioned a little bit, but a 25 from 2 cycles ago, dropping again. We're back on that one.
Yep.
I would be comfortable saying, you see, we had this little, area here, but I'm going to probably lean on it again and hope that we go on another little streak that could really benefit us. Worst case, we do see it miss, and then we can be really confident again next cycle, I would believe. But I think we can use it. It's also two that I like a lot, because we talk about, well, what was the drop last cycle, which fed? We had that little weird stretch where we had 2 bronzes in a row, which rarely happens. Last cycle was Jade, second most popular. So I kind of like it to be Jade, or like I said, I like the ones that didn't happen. And both of those fit within the 2 that have a 25 from 2 cycles ago. Still pretty confident we're not going to see a double drop again this year. Went over that previously, where we only see 3. I think one year had 4 in gold, and we're at 3 right now. So
I will tell you, I lucked out.
Been 4 of the last 5 years. So
yeah, I lucked out. I played 28s with Von Schnaps, and they took the 6 in IWL. And that was like, ooh. So now it's like, because I've only hit 521 with them, I think, 1 time, because I suck at trios. Trying to get there. But doubles are easier as far as tag team and trios. easier to play. Because then you're like, okay, where am I making that switch? So
Yeah, most of the time we'd have to get into like splits on like we just saw a split in still, but yeah, most of the time you see all these that don't say split. That would be one where you literally just have a double drop outside of your tag. So more often than not, you are taking technically a double drop on a tag strat. But you just don't have a great back either because you're also using both 44s and both 43s if you're doing it right. Let's see. Yep. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just say don't take a double drop. I'm sure Darren's in the NWL chat right now telling people to
take the
everybody stop listening to
25s.
them.
What?
So,
if you want to win, you got to take the 25s.
Like I said, 28-26 was iron and last cycle's gold. It's gone.
Yeah.
28s were still.
Yep.
And 29-26 happened 2 cycles ago.
Yeah.
So we're down to 16. And 8 of the 16 have a 25 from 2 cycles ago.
Right.
So let's look at the 2 that don't, just to see where they're at.
29-27.
See, hold on. I got to update these real quick. I know I didn't do something on here. There we go. I mean, it doesn't make a big difference, but.
Right.
So 27-26 happened 13 cycles ago. That's a pretty long time. So I almost hate to mark that one off, but like I said, I'm going to lean on this, so I will. But just for anybody that wants to look at that, it is a drop that is due. Just doesn't fit with what I want. But it is due, so it should start creeping up to be something we want to look at. I just don't think it's this cycle.
Okay. So that's a strategic move to like, again, narrow down your options.
Yeah.
Which really does help you when you're picking your strats, like just what you can weed out or put maybe on.
Yeah, I mean, really, you've got to dial in on some random things like this 2 cycles ago 25s. And like I said, that's only true in gold, really. Like, yeah, because I went back and did this for still thinking, oh, maybe it's there. I think still had like one of the last 7 or something like that. Like, it's not something that happens in there. So, yeah, feds can be slightly unique. It's like, let's go back to tags real quick. You'll see there's a lot less splits that occur early on, right?
Yeah.
Look over here in bronze, how often it happens.
Wow.
So yeah, what you do in one fed, you can't necessarily do in the others. Yeah, diamond and bronze are not as generous.
Do we know? I mean, I'm sure somebody has the math on this, but like, is there like there's got to be some record somewhere of like, the most IWA tag champs have come out of this fed, or most world champs come out of this fed. Like, most champions come out of this fed. Like, is there anything like that out there?
There, I'd have to see if he still has it. Hamilton Ortiz had a really cool chart where he took every single fed winner ever, at least back to like 2006 when they're on the archives, and he put the total and league, and so you could see where every world came from and which ones had 501s. It was a really neat
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
because that again,
if
like
he has it, yeah, I'd like to update that. And
like, what is the lowest ever world champion? Like going back to 2006, like
it's really low.
Like
I think it's
485. Like oh my god!
And it's not as old as you think. There was some of those. It'd be like mid 2000s, and there'd just be that cycle where everything goes wrong in every single fed, and it'd be like a 494 got it. So, yeah. But yeah, if you go back into the 90s, I'm sure you had a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of like Tony Robinson. Remember him?
No, I do remember that name. Yeah.
Yeah. He won pretty much every weird cycle. So
Damn it all.
all right. Our other one was the 29-27. Going on my little chart down here, you see that doesn't happen that often, which no reason why, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just don't see a reason. And it's happened relatively recently, 6 cycles ago.
Yeah.
But now, like I said, I'm gonna mostly be focused on these two.
Yeah.
A, because I like where it came from, and B, it has a 25 from 2 cycles ago. And that means we have our 32 different
Okay.
combinations. So at this point, we have to make a few other decisions.
So like, does 22, like if we go, do we lean more towards the 5 or the 53? You know, or do we
Yep.
say, okay, we're looking at what's our fancy, what's our stronger guess?
Sorry, I was just reading Christian McCaffrey got traded to the 49ers just then.
Really?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
interesting.
Carolina running the white flag up. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo.
Okay, so 5 or 53.
When sports news breaks. The IWAR workshop breaks it. There it is. All right. So we were looking at 5 and 53. I'm sorry. Yeah, 5 and 53.
Yep.
So 5 has been stronger more recently, which I always feel like I'm more inclined to take that as the next to drop again.
Yeah, because one of those things over the long term, it will balance out to where they'll have some lower. They really look kind of similar, but almost. I would probably lean towards 5 for what you said. It has had a nice little stretch here, and you kind of look back, and it does have those, and then it kind of goes through a little turbulent period. And you see, it's been one that has that 2 cycle thing pretty often when it has it happen. 53. I mean, they had look at this one right here where it went 3, and then 3 cycles before that it had 1, and then this was just a 3.
Yeah,
I gotta imagine that's due to start coming out of that and being a somewhat safer hold for 6-8 cycles for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to go with 5. I think, yeah, for exactly all those reasons you said, it's probably where it'd go. And if we do that,
nitty gritty.
Use a different color. We're down to 16 then. So at that point, we have to pick between, got 4 holds, 22, 8, 45, 46.
Yeah.
Or we can make a definitive decision on the back. Because we got our 4 back still, so.
Right.
Like I said, we've went a ridiculous stretch of 42, 1 being the hold that hit.
Right. You mean, yeah.
If you want to lean in, really lean into what's happening with the 42s, use that. 44-1. You see it's got this huge stretch here that it's been good. So you'll have to probably pick one of those two, unless you want to find a way to narrow one of these out. Let's look a little more over here. One other thing I kind of like to look at when this happens is when gold was what it was the previous cycle, what did it do historically? And sometimes you do see that something is more likely. So we had 29-27. 28-27. 29-26. Oh, this one's a little all over the place. 28-27. So that's the first one that's been twice, but that's not enough to. 28-27. Okay, there's 3.
We should run a warning on this show about Little Caesars. Be careful, you might trigger an episode. Sorry.
It used to have a lot more colors. Like I would when I would make my strats to make sure I didn't double up, each hold was a different color.
Oh, okay.
And I got an email back from Kim asking me to stop that. It's almost, I guess, to me, like I could read it just fine, but yeah, to most people, yeah, they don't like looking at numbers and 15 different colors on each one.
There it is. Christian McCaffrey traded for draft picks. Okay, well, they got to rebuild, so may as well.
So the small sample size we had there, it was 3 out of what was that? Probably 8. We're 28-27. So 28-27 historically has been a good one to come off of when it was 28-26.
Let's see here. So okay.
Yeah. I kind of like 29-28 too, though.
I went heavy
just
on that
because
one last
it was,
cycle.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to happen last cycle. It seemed a little too convenient, but it had. This is almost like the 42 things. A non-double drop does not go 4 cycles in a row of not hitting anything, and that one did. So it's going to be a fairly solid choice for a while. And it can't happen in jade, so it's got gold, diamond, and bronze, and I would be very confident that it's got to go in one of those 3. I couldn't see them dropping it back again this soon. Like I said, you almost think like the 42s or 41s long term will be a 50-50 split. Which ones of these misses should be like that again? So it's probably, I feel like it's used up its drops for a long time. So,
and we just did 28s in steel, right?
Yep. Yeah, when you have a double drop, you also are less likely to see whatever that double drop was, one of those dropping again.
Well,
really close, yeah. I'd probably leave it at here. Let people make their decisions. So
yeah, I mean it comes down to your gut instinct. What do you want to go with? So it's 45, 46. We're at 10-minute mark. All right. Yeah, I mean it always comes down to your gut. And I used to tell people, like, what you want to do is you want to talk yourself into one drop and then talk yourself into the other drop. And, go with your best option for each. And I have like ABC picks, like, like last cycle, Barry Stevens and Gina were my B set. And that they had the best numbers. Atari and Cash with the A's. So this time I'm probably going to run it the other way around and run B's with Atari and Cash and A's with Barry and Gina, mostly because Barry's got a title defense for the IWAR thing. So it's like, gotta really nail that strat down. So that's one of those things where it's like, well, maybe with Barry, I go with a 41 because instead of rolling the dice on a 42, I go with a more, I'll take the points, so to speak. Kick the field goal, take the points, and try to retain the title through a good solid strategy as opposed to knocking out of the park.
Yeah,
that's where we are right now. Man, I think we're doing a tube cast this weekend for the trash talk. That could happen, could not happen. Depends. Alex's schedule has been crazy. I did start the nomination process for the IWAR award, so that's out there. That's available to like go into. And I would say, eventually we'll probably, maybe for our New Year's, we'll try to like bang out the revised How to Win That Way.
Yeah, I need to watch the other one and see.
This time we mean it. But I think making it more, I think it's 22 minutes long or something like that. But I think even like a format like this, it can be done where it's just, more sit down. And I think mostly getting the idea of like, putting your strat together, recognizing trends, good gambles versus bad gambles. And then when it comes to tag team and trios, particularly the NWL guys, we've been trying to like help them along. Like Darren's been helping with the trio stuff. I got to revamp the tag page, but just kind of getting players in that mindset of like, hey, there's other things in the singles titles and how you go about it. So there's that. BWL, how's the perfect 10 going? How close are we?
Well, if you were, I thought I had it up. Let's see. We're pretty close, but a couple cycles ago, I had to put that, it's going to have to stop at a certain point. This cycle is the stopping of the first round.
Oh, okay. So we'll
definitely I feel like somebody else did move on last cycle, but there are 4 that still need to finish up. So we'll have some movement. We'll get the results. Brain Grady moved on this cycle.
There we go. So of these, actually, Shiloh Wallace being gone should advance Aria, right?
Yes.
That's one. That's a bonus.
Yep. So it'd be Veruca Salt and Cornbread. Veruca is up 6 right now. Starfall Tigris and Rachel Van Dorn with Rachel up 2. And then this matchup down here of Eddie Red and Z-Bop, they can't win.
Wow, that's tough. Now going into round 2,
94s.
Into round 2, what is your plan as far as like, are you gonna have a 3 cycle limit or?
I'll have to see what I put. I think I put 5.
Okay.
But we will see. Let's up here though. Are all these still active?
Zoe's gone.
Ooh,
Zoe's Pecadora's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone else.
The rest are still there. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see what I have to do with that one. But yeah, we've got it moving. We'll have the next one.
I think it's a fun contest, but I think we said like, this is what we're learning on the fly. The Lethal Lottery tag tournament's underway, and I had Gina Colada take some shots at Penny Punk, claiming she threw the match on purpose to cost them the win. Get moved, bro. I was talking to a friend earlier with like things in video games you do. I have a friend who plays Dead by Daylight all the time. Like we play a little bit as a group. but he plays and like gets in these bitter, like, they're not real feuds, but like, he in his mind, and he's going through. And I said, the best example I can give of being like getting back at somebody in a game was I was playing GTA. I picked this dude up in a helicopter. I flew out in the ocean and left the game. Like, I just flew in the middle of nowhere in the ocean and left the game. So he was stuck in the helicopter and he couldn't get out to fly it because he was, just to get back at somebody. But IWA was, at one time jokingly floated the idea of joining a stable race just to throw my team's chances to win and like cause a big feud. But Johnny B would have been like, nah. But we try to have fun with the game. I do think we can probably start thinking about the BWL draft thing we want to do. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'd like to do that probably right after the next pay-per-view, early next year.
Yeah, the next pay-per-view is the 12th. So the 11th is the results. 12th is right up. We're going into number 9 now, I think, right?
Is it not? Yes,
yeah,
it would be
into 9. So
yep.
We're almost there. So something to think about. But yeah, so I would say go with your gut, everybody, and all else fails, you can watch the next show for free. So
yeah, or add more wrestlers and then you can just cover it all.
That's right. Add more wrestlers. Join the ILL or IIL.
No, nobody needs to join that league.
And of course, I should mention too, we do have the Murano and Johnny B Cup coming up, and it's going to be early this year. It's going to be probably like February or winter cycle to start, and that'll be fun. But we got to break down the prizes, and I want to make it more less huge prize and more people winning. So that's kind of a good format. And I think we're going to talk that away, but floating the idea of the BRL splitting the prize between the Battle Royal winner and the league champion. But I got to talk to Attaway about that and see if they're cool with that. I think it's a great idea. Like, kind of, it doesn't make this huge prize either way, but like both ways, like people are getting a pretty good price, when it comes to like winning either the Battle Royal league title. So
that covers a few cycles. So
yeah,
that's a good win.
It is. All right, so let's close it out. But good luck on your fantasy football teams.
Yep.
How did DeAndre Hopkins do? Is he still catching?
Well, I mean, game's over now, but where's he at?
He had 85 yards at one point.
I don't think he got much more.
It's all right. His first game back. What are you gonna do?
Oh, never mind. 10 catches for 103. That's a pretty good game. So
that's not bad.
Your first game, yeah.
That's a 10-point game at least. So
20.
All right.
Are you not PPR?
20. No.
Okay.
The league I run, we're trying to like get out of the old ages. Like it's still like no flex spot. Yep. It's brutal. So we'll figure it out. But anyways, thanks to everyone who watched. This is number 49. The next show is our 50th show, and we'll probably not do anything special, but we'll try.
Yep.
So all right. Well, thanks, Mike. I will catch you later.
All right. See you.
Thanks, man. All right. Bum, 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 bum.